Okay, so this is my entry for blog 9, and it's about my reflections on the gaming presentation. Supposed to think of 2 points that I didn't really come across in our presentation that I wish I could have made stronger. The first one, looking back on it, would be mechanics. We didn't do a very good job of covering the mechanics aspect of our game, because instead of the mechanics is supposed to be like how it works, like basically kind of what buttons you're supposed to press, or how the game kind of how gameplay goes. And it was more just an overview of what happens in the game is what we presented. So instead of saying like you go around, it's the Drug Lord was the name of our game, and you go around, instead of just saying that you go around and want to rise to the top as become a drug lord by selling drugs and stuff like that, could have said like you're able to get into cars and drive cars around, or there's like a certain button for like initiating deals, or there's certain button combos that are a better way of like bargaining with somebody for a price on a deal. Good on something like that. Yeah, so I feel like that's something we definitely could have done better because we did that wrong, I'm pretty sure. Then the second area that I think we kind of went a little bit underachieving on was that we listed the game as skill, the type of game as skill, but we didn't really give it that thorough. We didn't really give any explanation at all. I guess so that could have been a weak point, because it was a game of skill because everything you do is determined by how you play the game, and how like the partners you make and the friends, the alliances you make, and if they're good or not, or if like the person will stab you in the back. And it really doesn't have anything to do with chance, because you're the one making the decisions. The game isn't really like the game isn't doing nothing is really out of your control, because you're the one that sets the cogs in motion for whatever is going to happen. So yeah, that's that. For the concept that I thought is most difficult between goals, mechanics, objectives, and rules, I definitely feel like goals is probably the hardest to explain, because basically the same as objectives if you kind of just randomly think about it, so it's kind of hard to differentiate the two. But the goals would be the hardest for me in this instance, because of our game is pretty the goals are kind of up to you, really, because if you want to be they use the term bad drug dealer or a good drug dealer. It depends on what decisions you make. So it's like you have your own personal goal in the game. If you want to win by being a bad guy that like a gangsta or whatever, that's ruthless or whatever, and you want to stab people in the back and do that, and that's how you want to play and win, you can do that. Or you could be the good guy and be like a legitimate businessman and all, or whatever, and do that and rise to the top. So in this particular instance, goals is definitely hardest to explain because it's very vague, because it's whatever you want it to be. If you want to just play the game and do like little side stuff and just kill people, if that's what goal you want to have, that's there for you too. The one goal that is consistent is getting through the game and rising to the top and becoming like the top drug dealer in the city or the country or whatever. So that is that, and I don't know how much more in depth I could go, but that's all I have. So thanks.